So my first question is, what was your favorite song growing up?
I would say my very first album that I ever purchased and ever like listened to on repeat was Akon's Convict.
What?
Yeah, I love that. And then, I love the Black Eyed Peas. Fergie was like my idol. Like I just loved how confident and carefree she was, and growing up in Sicily, I was like that, but not many people were on that level. So so I really looked up to her and I loved urban music in general. And then let's see. I would say Christina Aguilera songs really spoke to me. I always tried to learn them as a kid, and I've always spoke English since I was little, even though I'm Italian technically. So it was really easy for me to jump into songs like that and learn them. And Christina Aguilera's songs like "Hurt" and all those beautiful, you know, I used to really enjoy learning.
and I did watch another one of your interviews where you did say that you were Italian. So
Yeah.
what was the music culture like? How did you get a hold of all this goodness?
Well, I left home when I was 12, so my life really wasn't there for that long, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful growing up there. And then when I was 12, I decided I was like too big for it. No, I'm kidding. But like, I just had really big dreams, and I felt like I could do better elsewhere, and I was really adventurous, and I was really small, but I was extremely determined. Like it was really hard to make me change my mind. So
Oh,
then I came to the US when I was about 15 years old. I used to be in professional ballet before. So initially I was in France for a while, then I came to the US when I was 15, and then I stayed in New York. And in New York is where my music career really took flight, because before that, I always used to sing, but music wasn't my, or I didn't think it was going to be my career choice. It was just something that I enjoyed doing to express myself, but I thought ballet was going to be. And then after a while, I thought to myself, I kind of feel more like myself when I sing. So that's how it all started. And then I made more connections in New York, and I didn't know anybody when I came here, but then things kind of came together.
congratulations again. Like so young and just determined. When did you know you wanted to become a DJ?
Well, that's actually a very recent addition to the way I perform, and it really brought me back to life. I was in pop for the longest time, even though lately I've been coming out saying that for like the first times, but I actually never wanted to be in pop. It just happened that way, and it was really cool. And I was successful. I am successful. But when I started DJing, I was like, yes, this is who I really am. And what I do is I combine my vocals and my DJing when I perform, for example. So it's almost like I'm remixing songs with my voice. Like I'm bringing a song to life, and I sing all of my catalog plus covers. I experiment. That's the thing. Every single mix I make is very experimental. And what I really liked about DJing that really like sucked me in and and it took a hold of me was that I could be spontaneous on the spot. I didn't need to plan a set, I didn't need to plan like a set show. I could just obviously after rehearsing a lot show up and give a show that's like unique to that moment, to those vibes. It's happening in that moment. It's never been done before. I didn't plan it, and it's happening right now. So to me that was very special, because that's what I'm naturally inclined to do, to be spontaneous. And yeah, it just helps me perform on a whole other level compared to when things are scripted. I feel like I don't know, for the type of singer I am, for the type of personality I have, I lose something when
Mhm.
I'm too focused on the plan rather than letting go.
I think that's a talent though, to be able to do that. No, like everybody can't do that. You hire people to do that. So when did you take it public?
Well, let's say that it's kind of crazy. I started DJing last year, basically. It's been exactly a year, pretty much. So, well, in November of 2019 is when I started learning. And then in March, and I was kind of like on and off, like I had no idea I was gonna really do it. And then in March of last year, 2020, when quarantine started with this whole coronavirus situation, that's when I took it public. I did my first live streams where I was DJing, and it kind of like took over from there. And I have to say, I'm really honored because I've gotten some pretty big bookings for having started like a year ago. A lot of live stream opportunities, and you know, like live streams is kind of tricky, but also paid live streams, which is good. And then my performance at Alchemy Gathering was dope. I opened at Alchemy, and I never thought I would get to do that. I did that in October. And then in March, this March, on the 27th and the 28th next week, I'm going to be in Miami for the Synchro Fest on both days, and I really can't wait. I'm planning a really cool visual concept, you know, for the visuals that I made for like behind the stage, and there's a whole story to it. And overall, that's my biggest booking yet, because it's a 2-day camping festival. It's amazing that it's even happening right now. So I'm blessed. Had a way of like kind of like going out of my way and then finding it again, like with ballet. I thought that's what I wanted to do, and then I stopped and I started from point zero with music. And then I ended up in pop with all the people trying to like, you know, place me into all these different boxes. And then I started DJing, and now that's more who I am. Like, I don't know if it'll keep changing, but I feel like this is good. This is where I'm at, and what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna develop even more, you know, hopefully take my shows to even to the next level, both vocally and just, you know, technique wise. I'm excited to see what I can learn and do.
I think you will. I've watched your videos. You're very passionate about what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You said people placed you in the box. How did that make you feel?
Well, at the time, I was just thankful that there was somebody in music trying to like take me to the next level, you know. So unfortunately, and I mean, like I said, it was a really fun time, and I got to do a song with Snoop Dogg. Like, it was dope, you know. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't say, you know what, F it. I'm gonna be all out there, you know. Like, I'm more of like an underground, like a little bit more like um party animal, but like quiet type personality, a little more, you know, less bubblegum than most pop artists out there. So it was interesting to find my own way of interpreting this new style that I was getting into, because I started in R&B. But you know, like I said, everything kind of like took the wrong and the right turns for the best. But to go back to your question, I almost felt like I had to change a little bit, even if I didn't want to or I didn't think I should, because that was my only shot. And that's something that I don't want any artist to experience ever. Because yeah, of course, after a while, you're going to find your way, you're going to find your people and whatever, it's all good. But why should as artists get into this business like this, you know what I mean? Why are we getting into this maze, this mess, and we don't know where we're supposed to turn and what we're supposed to do first, who we're supposed to work with, who is just BSing us, or who is you know, telling the truth and actually wants to bring you to the next level, especially as a girl. So yeah.
Man, so it's just been a whole learning, like a new learning experience for you,
Yeah.
of reinventing yourself every time.
Yeah, and it was all my decisions. I did this to myself, but actually, that's what I realized a few years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I had this big revelation. I was like, hey, I've always tried to like kind of like quiet some parts of myself, because people kept telling me, pick one thing, do one thing, you know. Do you want to be in business? Do you want to be in music? Do you want to be in dance? Do you want to be a singer? Do you want to be a DJ? What are you doing? Pick one. And I'm there like, this may work for other people, but for me, myself, and a lot of people out there too, maybe who you are is all these things. Maybe the only way to be yourself and also excel, do a good job, is to do all these things, because maybe constricting yourself to only one is actually stopping your growth, instead of, you know, you would think you can focus and that's it, and you're going to be amazing at it. But if you're called to do different things, if you're called to dance and also sing and also act, or whatever is your thing, then I think that's important.
You're preaching. So young and preaching right now. So how was it working with Snoop Dogg?
It was great. It was great. And there might be another collaboration coming out very soon, which I can't just say too many details yet,
Right.
but I can't wait because that was a great start. That was like my biggest feature and only like my yeah, I mean, my second feature, because my first song that I ever released was Tonight featuring Cody Burbage and Ty Alexander. That was like a lifetime ago, or that's what it seems like. And then the feature right after that was Snoop. So I was like, wow, because I totally forgot to mention it because it's just, you know, for me, it's just, it is what it is. I've
Right.
always loved Snoop Dogg. He's, you know, he's one artist that I've always listened to. And of course, there's like the Akon album and everybody else. I'm sorry, but like Snoop has always been like, you know. So the fact that I was able to do a feature with him really, you know, not only like brought me to the next level, but also made me believe in myself even more and made me think like, you know, yes, I can do this. Yeah, I just came from Sicily and I somehow projected my love for Snoop Dogg into the universe and this happened. And, you know, so I was like, all right, so anything can happen if you really put your mind to it, if you're really, you know, serious about it and focus. And if you want it enough, then anything can happen. And you get to meet great people along the way.
Big facts. You know what I like about you? You don't live in the moment. Though you've had many successes, you like, you know what? I'm still trying to perfect myself. I'm still trying to find myself and find my way. So, is that one of those lessons you learned?
Yeah, I guess, because me being a perfectionist, somehow it was it was kind of like it wasn't helping for a while because you wouldn't believe how much of a perfectionist I am to the point where it's like, whoa, are you a lawyer or what? But
Right.
sometimes what it did to me is because something wasn't perfect, I wouldn't release it. Because something didn't turn out 100%, I would kind of like shut myself down and have like 3 days where I didn't want to think about music or anything. Like, you know, I was getting to the point where it's like, all right, this is not working to my advantage. If I channel it, it can bring me to the next level. But if I don't, it's just going to destroy everything that's important. I'm going to be focusing on everything that's not, you know?
Right.
So yeah, so that's something that made me realize that it's all good. You know, nobody's perfect out there, especially right now. Even if there's good and bad in every time of this life and every generation, we are in a time where there's a lot of acceptance. We kind of like we shed all the old layers of you know, the airbrushing and like
Mhm.
whatever, you know, like and the all these racism and genders, like we're still working on many things. But if you go on the news and look for good news, you can see all these things that are happening that would have never happened 100 years ago or even 50 years ago or 30 years ago. So so yeah, so that got me thinking too. And I was like, life is a process and progress is actually perfection. And if you do that, then you're there because you're always trying. The moment you stop trying, that's the moment you drop.
That's right. So, do you believe this is a spiritual journey?
Yeah, I mean, I believe everything is like I'm very interested when it comes to like what I believe in. I believe in everything and nothing. And when I say nothing, I really mean everything. And what I'm trying to say is that the universe, yourself, any name you want to give to things, that's all very powerful because just the fact of being here and being human and having all these capabilities is amazing. Like, you know, just the fact of existing as a human means that you have unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities. You look at a bird, it's beautiful, but
That's
he
right.
can't become a president. He can't release music. He can't change the world. He can't save the world. You know what I mean? As humans, we have that power. So that I feel like that's very important to remember. And we also have the power to connect to whatever it is we believe in. And that's extremely powerful, whether it's the earth, whether it's God, whether it's something else, whether it's ourselves, you know. Yeah.
You are so inspirational and very wise beyond your years. So, tell me about your new single, Hustla.
hmm Yes, there's actually a lot more coming from that project. It's the other day they asked me like, "What's the name of the project?" It's the HUSTLA project, and that's the main song that's been released. Then the original song's video is coming out soon, and then I also have a remix of the song and a video of that remix. And the whole project is basically it's kind of like hard to imagine without the visuals, but the project is basically veered towards the hidden side of the music industry. And the videos are very, there's blood, there's there's duct tape, there's
Wow.
there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. There's fire, there's money. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
It's art.
basically a project. It's very like real, but also like, it takes you into this whole like universe of like hustling and taking things to the extreme, the concept of burning money, which is what we do in this
Mhm.
society, of dirty money, of blood being shed, of not being able to talk about what's going on behind the scenes. Then that's what inspired me to make this project happen. And it kind of all came together in different times. Like I shot some scenes and then I decided to add like the interesting parts. And I was just like, okay, this is coming together. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but it's coming together. And now it's finally at a point where I'm polishing it and perfecting it for release, everything. And I think it's really going to, I don't know, at least leave a small mark into the industry and independent artists, being used to seeing all the gloss, that's on the outside, but
Mhm.
nobody wants to talk or is interested in hearing what's on the inside. But that's actually the most interesting part. And sure, it'll shake people up, but that's what you got to do.
I think it'll shake people up in a good way. I mean, it's like abstract
Of
art.
course, always, always. That's
Yeah.
where we're going.
It reminds me, or your idea reminds me of what The Weeknd did, but it did not translate that way. His did not translate that way because
Which one? Hold on, which song?
The Weeknd, the one that he performed at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So when he originally performed that song, he had these aesthetics and just all of the plastic surgery and stuff done. So people just didn't understand where that was coming from. Where your visual, it's much different because you're telling the story through the visual, where people
Yeah.
didn't get the two. His lyrics did not match the story he was telling.
Mm.
If that the visual, if that makes sense. So the way that you're telling HUSTLA, the way that you're telling that story, it matches the content. You're going to get it immediately and not be thinking, well, what the heck is going on with this? So even though it may
Yeah, no, totally.
people will get it. So I think, and you have complete creative control over your videos. That's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, I have to. If I don't, I'll be calling the videographer up every day, like, oh, can you tweak this and can you tweak that? And I know this is a lot, but here's a list of things to change. I need to be in charge because otherwise people will end up hating me, in a good way. In a oh God, she's gonna take forever way. At least they know I'm serious.
Right. What is now, as far as the song goes, what is one of the main messages in the song that just really stuck out to you while you were trying to get into the music industry?
Like, so pretty much like comparing like the message behind HUSTLA and my journey, the way I like lived it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you listen to the lyrics, it's, I'll hustle till I make it. I'll hustle till I'm faded. I'll hustle till I'm jaded. That's pretty much saying that I won't stop for anything and anything, and I'm not afraid to hustle and be proactive. And then just really like I wanted to give an idea of like strength of having people that listen to the song feeling what I'm feeling or what I have to make myself feel every day, which is nothing can break me. Strike a match, I won't feel it. Like, of course, I'm human. You're gonna strike a match on me right now, you're gonna burn me. But even if we're human, we do have the capability of being more. Even if we're just flesh and blood. So sometimes when you hustle that hard and when you have a goal that big, then you have to take yourself to the next level. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself to the max and saying, yep, you know what? I'm going to defy the laws of nature and I'm going to do something that people don't expect me to do. I'm going to resist things that people don't expect me to survive. I'm going to be above the system, even if I'm just one human in this huge pool of like everything.
Mm-hmm. You're divergent. So, and do you have another single out?
Yes, my latest releases have been the remix of Medicated, I'm Better, and yeah, well, the remix of HUSTLA is coming out. So those by Vittorio Ferrigno, which is an Italian DJ just like me that I connected with on a radio interview. So he was really passionate about my music, which I was really grateful for, and he wanted to remix some of my songs. I said like, yeah. So so those have been my latest releases, and then aside from that, I'm working on a few things. I have a feature that's coming out with Jay Lasso, New York-based rapper. It's called Don't Worry, and we've actually been working on it in the studio like all last week, and we're getting ready to mix and master now. And what else? What else? A collaboration with this friend of mine that is an amazing guitar player. Then there's a saxophone player. There's like this whole band, and we came together to write this song that is similarly to HUSTLA, but also like not that similar. It brings to light, it's basically the story of a toxic relationship with the government. So it starts, and you think I'm talking about like a romantic relationship, but then you start to understand what I'm talking about, and it's, you know, the way we are with life, with the government. And yeah, and then I'm trying to release an acoustic project of mine, which is something that has been very hard for me for some reason. With, you know, with my beginning in the music industry and everything, I was scarred. Like I lost like a little bit like the ability to be like, oh, here's something unplugged just for you, you know. So I'm getting that back slowly and telling myself, no, I can be like that again. Now people are not trying to screw me over, nobody's trying to mess with me. It's safe for me to spread my wings. So yeah, so last night, for example, and not to diverge too much, but I had an interview, and then I was done, and I was like, I don't feel like being done. So I went on Instagram and I said, let's play a game. DM me with your favorite song, and I will sing it a cappella and feature you in my story. And then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna put it out there. It's whatever. And then I got so many requests that I literally went to bed so late, didn't even finish the requests. I'm gonna finish them tonight. And I spent hours just like learning. I mean, kind of like looking over songs that I've never seen before or sang before, and singing them unplugged a cappella, just right there and then, you know. So that was my way of telling myself like, come on, just do it, just push yourself. If you add that little thing that they took from you, then you'll be complete. So that's what I've been working on.
Oh, you seem like you do a lot of self-motivation. So what is one thing that you tell yourself every day to keep going?
Well, pretty much all of the above, everything we talked about. The fact that no matter what the world is up to right now, no matter what, even if there's a pandemic going on and there's no events, you can still make moves, you can still do things. So I simply just tell myself that I can, to the point where I don't even need to tell myself anymore. I just wake up, and you got to wake up and say like, you know, I'm the shit. And you just got to do it. You just got to do it. If you want to be the shit. If you don't, then you don't. Then you just,
I love it. My son is shit. Now bye.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is my last question. Where can our viewers follow you, or two questions, and download your music?
Well, pretty much everywhere is the answer to both questions. I try to do a really good job at being absolutely every platform, and even like internationally, because me being international, I like to keep things open like that, you know, with my company too, and do business internationally and meet everybody everywhere. So on social media, I'm Kendra Black Music everywhere, and then Twitter is Kendra Black Live. My website is kendrablackmusic.com, and then my music is available, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, Napster, Tidal, SoundCloud, YouTube. Yeah, everywhere. Just type in Kendra Black or Kendra Black Music if you run into, there's like a councilwoman. I'm not running for council. So if you, yeah, that's not connected. In case you're wondering.
Since you did mention the business, what business do you have? Like, what else do you have going on?
Yeah. So in 2019, because of, you know, all the adventures I've been on and all the things that I've learned in this life and that I've seen and been involved with, I decided to create a platform that would be a safe haven for performers out there, whether they're in music, whether they're in business and have nothing to do with the arts, you know,
Mhm.
because I have so many connections that I'm sitting on, and some of them I use, others I don't, but I know the people. So I was like, what if I created a system where I am a mediator that connects people, that helps people do business safely, you know, in a way also to weed out anybody, like if anybody on the platform has complaints about somebody else, then that person will most likely not be recommended again. And because
Right.
I'm the one connecting the people, then, you know, it would be easy to weed out the people that I know from experience have taken what wasn't theirs, or you know, or tried to take advantage of artists. Then there's no room for that, because my dream is to create or to help create a music world where you don't have to watch your back, where you can go into it being pragmatic, being smart, not needing to sell any part of yourself that you don't want to sell, or a part of your soul that you want to sell, you know, and being who you are and finding the people for that. You don't find the people at the first try, all right, next, you know, but you still have to be who you are, because I've seen too many artists, including myself, like have a phase where they were very confused from the
Mhm.
industry, whereas before they had everything clear, and after they have everything clear. So why do we have to go through that phase where we have to doubt everything around us and think, all right, if I conform, if I do exactly what they tell me to do, maybe I'll get to next level? No. So anyways, that's what I created, and I do mediations, translations, because I speak 3 languages and a half. I say a half because I'm still working on my Spanish, but I speak English, Italian, and French fluently. The rest of my team that I work with speaks like 4 more. So together and with our pool of connections, we connect people, and we help artists find their way, basically, no matter where they are in their journey.
That's phenomenal. Like, how old are you?
I just turned 26 on March 10th.
Wow, that is phenomenal. And since 2019, how many artists have you helped?
Well, that's the thing. Coronavirus tried to stop my growth, but then I still, you know, I still kept going. I still kept doing business. I have a record label under my company that has ties with Sony Orchard, and I'm
Wow.
working on having ties to Universal as well, which is coming soon. And I offer all these release packages that people have really been interested in, and I keep adding more things to it. Like for example, right now, some cool things that I'm doing is I can give you your own label with you know, either Sony or hopefully in the future Universal as well, or you can release your music through the Emerald Sounds label. I can help with streaming campaigns where we don't stop promoting until we reach the goal that you set. Everything is prorated because I'm big about fairness in this industry, because it often lacks. So if whatever part of the result isn't achieved, you get a prorated refund. That way, you
Wow.
know, you're only paying for what you get, you know, in hopes for things to change a little bit. If I had access to something like this, it would have been different. But yeah, so there's an artist from Italy, there's 2 artists from the United States, and then 1 artist from Cuba.
Wow.
And the one from Cuba actually never released any music. So I offered to help him because he's one of my biggest fans. And also, I was surprised to hear him sing that well. I was like, oh, wow, so you're in music too. That's great, you know? So I'm helping him personally with like knowing what to do and how to copyright things and mix his music and who to turn to. So yeah, I'm kind of like working with all these people and hopefully many more in the future with all these things that I can offer, paid virtual shows. There's like, you know, whole packages that I like to offer. I have a lot of fun with that.
It seems like you are big on integrity and transparency.
Yeah, after this whole, like, you know, section of my life dealing with everything else, yeah, you go one of the 2 ways. You either conform or you say I got to change something, you know.
I love that. Well, I am so amazed. You have like girl boss. Let's say that.
Thank you.
So again, with the social media handles and like, is your business, you're on Instagram with that, right?
Yeah, so the company website is emeraldsounds.com, and then the social media for it is Emerald Sounds Company and Emerald Sounds Co on Twitter. Why is Twitter always different? But yeah, so people can reach out to us. There's a contact form, or by email at info@emeraldsounds.com. And like what I pride myself with the company is that if I can't help you with something, I know somebody that does. So if you have any requests whatsoever, you need a rapper for your feature, you need a mixing engineer, you need a logo, you need a show, whatever it is, you need mediation because you're not at the level to speak with somebody yet, I can have somebody reach out on your behalf, like, that kind of thing, really.
You're the connection with the connections.
Yeah, pretty much.
The plug.
Yeah.
So, talented plug. So thank you so much. I feel enlightened and inspired by you. You're just so full of wisdom, and I really appreciate the vibes you gave me tonight.
Thank you.
So
Likewise.
I'm going to listen to HUSTLA again because that's a bop, and download some more of your music. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.